Hey Party Case Tribe, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Ashley.
And we're the founders of the Party Case, your authority on making the best events sparkle and shine. Welcome to our new series, Brunch with the Party Case, where we sip and chat with our favorite businesses and bloggers on how they bring their party to life. Hi Party Case Tribe, Crystal here. We are in tune for another episode, Brunch with the Party Case. Today we have the lovely Lauren Williamson, who is the blogger for Life with L Nicole. Thank you, Lauren, for joining us today.
Thanks.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey.
You looking quarantined?
So much for having me. Oh, my God.
No.
I know. Pull out the sweats.
Yes, we got a little cute today. Ashley, I see you. Got a little color, giving us some mustard as you welcome the fall.
Listen, I tried. Get it together, y'all.
Well, Lauren, we are so excited to talk with you today. We know that you are more than a blogger. You are a lifestyle influencer. You are a shaker. You are a mom, a wife, a beautiful sister, daughter, all of that. And we just want to connect with you today and really get some insight on how you do it all. So we're excited today. We have a lot of good questions for you. Great conversation. So let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. I mean, so excited to be here. I just can't, I'm in awe with you guys and your business too. So it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Like Crystal said, I mean, you have so many things going on, and we've known each other at this point for 11 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait a minute. No, I'm not that old.
Right. No, I mean, we met when we were 2.
Yes, exactly.
We've been friends for a while. But through the years, I've seen you do so many great things. And when we started the Party Case and other businesses that we had, I always consulted you. I always asked questions. So now I want to kind of open that book up to our tribe to give them a little bit of insight into what goes on in Lauren's mind in order to get organized. So one of the first questions, or the first things that I want you to do, is kind of give our audience an idea of who you are and what you do. And then we can kind of jump into some of these questions, but I'm sure this conversation will just be fluid for the most part.
Well, as you guys mentioned, I'm Lauren. I'm originally from the DC area. I kind of grew up in mostly Northern Virginia, but I did move a lot kind of growing up. So I've lived in North Carolina, I've lived in Chicago, Washington State. I mean, I've kind of been all over the gamut. In 8th grade, I moved back to Virginia, grew up there, went to college at Old Dominion. And then I graduated, and I was trying to figure out, what did I want to do? Both my parents were like business owners. They had a business back in Virginia. We were looking to maybe expand to the Raleigh market. So that was kind of in my head. Bought a house down there, moved down there, and then got into recruiting for technology. Kind of did that whole thing for a couple of years. And then I moved over to a company that was called Data Domain. Obviously got purchased by EMC, which is now Dell. And so I've been with them for like the last, 11 plus years. I'm the director of healthcare for North Americas. So that's kind of what I like to call my full-time job and how that one kind of came about. But outside of that, I started really looking for ways to like diversify my portfolio. So how can I not have to rely on providing for, those 2 children that you guys mentioned? If something were to go wrong, you see layoffs happening at companies all over, or, just not wanting to have to feel like I was tied down. So my mom, sister, and I started looking at opportunities of ways to diversify our portfolio. We really are into health and wellness. And so we started with franchising. So we purchased our first tropical smoothie cafe in Bowie, Maryland. And since then, we have opened our second store, and we're actually just signed last week for 2 more stores. So that's exciting. Yes.
Oh my God. Really congrats.
So that's been crazy on top of the full time. And we also are maybe, gosh, about 4 weeks out from opening a Hand and Stone massage and facial in Brandywine, Maryland. So we looked at other ways that we could diversify in that still health and wellness realm. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, I mean, as if you don't need any more jobs. I have a photography business. So L Nicole Photography was really just a passion of mine that was born after my daughter Avery was born. I just fell in love with like newborn photography and maternity, and just like immerse myself into like learning that. So I like to call that the fun job, because it doesn't feel like I'm working when I'm doing that one. So I have a photography business, and then blogging came up. So I was like, you know what? I got to add that to the list of things that I could do. But honestly, that was kind of born out of really just going online and social media after my children were born, and like looking at all these beautiful moms that were out there with like these picture perfect children. I'll never forget the one that was like best. It was like they were eating breakfast at the kitchen counter, and the kids had on like all white pajamas. And I'm like, how do y'all have pancakes with syrup and your kids are eating with all white clothes on? Like,
no, that's
just real to me. It was not real at all. So I was like, you know what? I want to do something similar, but I want to show both what you need for, I mean, blogging, and I'm sure we'll get to on like just the aesthetics of it. Like people are always like, your house is so nice. It's like, well, to get brands to work with you, you do have to show some of that. But if you're in my stories, I have no makeup on. Like I'm showing you the raw behind the scenes. Like my house is a mess today. This is what it looks like. My kids are crazy. Look at them. So really just to give give other women what it looked like in real life. That's all of my jobs in one.
Right.
Nice.
And,
wow.
And at some point you find sleep.
I sleep somewhere in there, and that's the crazy part is I really
you don't look tired. You look well rested.
I get my rest now. 10:30. Everyone who knows me, do not call my phone. I will not answer at 10 p.m. Like that is
boundary.
And by 10:30, I have to be in bed.
Yeah, I still to this day, I'm in all of that bedtime situation, because with my two and Greg's schedule with being a football coach, like I'm out sometimes until like 9:30, 10:30. And I'm like, I don't know how Lauren does it. Cause you must have a second.
Like honestly, I cannot function without sleep. So some people will be like, oh, I'm good with 4 or 5 hours. Like it does not work. My body literally will shut down. I will start to get sick. Like I have to get my sleep. So to me, it is a priority, because if I go a couple nights without that, I'm like, oh, I feel like I got the flu. Drew's like, you don't have the flu. You're just tired. Like go to sleep. It's bad.
So I will ask, like, when it comes to your blog and sharing content with your audience, how do you keep it relevant, and how do you keep the realness with all of it?
I think one of the things that was important to me was to keep it real. That's why I started. So I try to find things, and when I was thinking of what I wanted my content to be, it was what really is Lauren. Like it's life with L Nicole. So what is my life? My life is working out. So I'm always on there like showing Pilates and workout clothes, because that's my life. I love to cook. So I involved that in there, and just keep it real. Like if my kids are in the kitchen with me, I'm going to show that. If my husband's in the kitchen, I want to show you guys that we're doing that quick and easy meals, because as I mentioned, it's busy. So I'm not giving you these elaborate meals. They're usually going to be like 15 minutes. Here's how you can throw something together in between all of this. So I just try to, honestly, I just share what I like. And I think for me, that works. Some people are bigger into, maybe I want more from a brand, so I want to push brands. I personally am only going to push what I like. I'm not going to share with you guys a brand that I don't truly believe in. So it's giving you guys stuff that's really relevant to life with L Nicole.
And that's what makes it so worth watching and reading. Like when you say 15-minute meals, like if I can't get a meal on the table within 15, 30 minutes, y'all might, you know what? We might just have to go to Chick-fil-A. And you don't want to do that all the time. Growing kids, right? You want to have a well balanced. So
yes,
keeping it real is important.
No, that's really good. I know that you go to bed at 10. So how early do you start?
6,
Like, what's a typical day for you, especially with the kids like going back to school? I'm sure Drew is about to start like training with basketball if he hasn't started already, because football season never ends in my house.
Yes.
After the game tonight, so we have to be like on it because it'll get a little loud over here. But what's a typical day for you guys at this point?
So time management is so important just with like everything that I have going on. So some people might say it's like too structured, but for me, that's like how I can get things done. So my day starts at 6:30. The alarm goes off. I do not snooze. There is no such thing as a snooze. Like, I'm popping my butt out of bed. First things first, I read my Bible scripture every day. I meditate. I love like affirmations and just really like start the day. So I do that. I literally go to my closet. It's kind of weird, but that's like, it's quiet in there. Like, no one else is in there. I have like aromatherapy. I like the candle for that. Like, it's a moment for, honestly, just for me. Like, there's no one else that's going to be involved. Really else is up at that time. And if they are, they're not bothering me. So I spend like, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes in the morning just between meditation and prayer. And then I usually grab a cup of coffee and try to just get breakfast ready for the kids, or try to get them somewhat situated. They are older. They're 6 and my son Jaden will be 8 tomorrow. So they can, get dressed in the morning by themselves, that sort of thing. And then I'm usually trying to jump online and see what I can't get done for our businesses, the franchises, before I jumpstart into, my full-time job. So spend a little bit of time if there's an email that needs to get out, or just trying to get caught up on that. And then I'm in full-time job mode for the whole day. I pick my kids up. I typically will try to do some type of, like I said, quick and easy meal, whether that had been a crock pot in between a conference call or just throwing something together when they get out of school. And then one of the rules that I live by is I shut down when my job shuts down. So 5:30, you will not see me. I'm not responding to an email at 5:30. I'm not, yesterday was a little anomaly. I had like a customer briefing that was at 6:30 p.m. because it was West Coast. So like a day like that, I'll do it. But my trying to have balance in my life is, and I don't like the word balance because there's no such thing as balance, but trying to have some type of evenness as much as you can between things is so important. So at 5:30, it is family time until, I can't make it family time anymore, when it's time for them to go to bed. And then at that point, I will then catch up on other things. So is there editing that needs to be done for, L Nicole photography? Do I have to do more work for the franchises? And then spending time with my husband too. I gotta throw it in there too. Right. That's like a full day. By the time you're done with all that, it's 10:30. It's time to go to bed.
Oh my gosh.
So it is. It is a lot of juggling in between throughout the day. But I think that's why a calendar is so important. Like, I live and breathe. If it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. So it has to go on the calendar. It's very important for me to just make sure that I have everything kind of outlined for the day.
Yeah. And I know that you mentioned Jaden's birthday. I cannot believe he is about to be 8.
Happy birthday!
Oh,
I'm an 8-year-old.
That's crazy.
I know.
I remember when you were pregnant. Oh, man.
Don't make me cry.
No tears, because it's all about business right now. What are you guys doing for his birthday?
So, it's COVID still, and I am like Nazi mother over here who, some people don't believe COVID's still alive. I do. So yes. We are just gonna keep it kind of low key. My dad is gonna come to town. We're gonna do just some outdoor social distancing. Just family and a cake, and just he doesn't want anything. He's at that age now where it's just about video games, and he wanted NBA 2K21. He got that. So he's like, I don't need anything else. I'm like, okay, cool.
Easy.
Yes.
Easy. Yeah, that's what you, along with Crystal and myself, with us being moms and a little crazy, that's what really sparked the party case. We wanted to ensure that our kids would have the ability to still enjoy these moments without us losing our minds and spending a ton of money on
Well, and the planning alone, I mean, like you guys make it so that moms like me who are busy don't have to, do all of the thinking.
Right.
And going out to the stores and grabbing everything and trying to put everything together for all these kids. Like, it's simple and it's easy.
I will never forget.
Thank you.
So I don't know if I actually told you about the time that I explained what the party case was to Lauren. She almost fell off the couch. She was like, "Where can I sign up? When can I do this? What do you need from me?"
Yes.
So Lauren has been a fan from day one.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. I think the only thing left here with my questions would be, what piece of advice would you give to anyone that's looking to start a business? How can they start? What would you tell them?
I think that the biggest piece of advice is, I always say a no doesn't mean a no. And I think that's really important, because a lot of times, especially as African Americans, when we go to apply for loans and from banks and stuff, we will hear a no. We don't have enough liquidity, there's not enough assets there. So like really just taking that and being like, okay, well, one bank said no, that doesn't mean necessarily that's the only way. So thinking outside of the box is so important too, of like, there's different types of grants that are available through, the community alone. Non-traditional ways to structure a business, I think, is really important. From a blog standpoint, I think it's really important to just stay true to yourself. You can really get caught up, I think, with just social media in general, like, oh, I love the way her page looks. I like the way she does, like, oh, she's got a blog, she's got a brand she's working with. I want to work that same brand, but like, does it reflect you as a person? So if not, is that what you want to portray? So I think that's, if I had to look at kind of both sides of it, from a business standpoint with like the franchising and just, starting your own business, and then the blog side, those are probably the two.
Awesome. And Chris, did you have any questions for Lauren?
I do have one more question before we wrap up.
My natural light, though, by the way, guys, it is.
I was going to say it went away.
It's like gone.
It shifted. So Lauren, before we wrap up, I have one more question that I thought about. This has been such a breath of fresh air to talk with you today, and at the end of the day, you just keep it real, and I love it. You're checking a lot of boxes off of your checklist, your goals list, but what's next? What's next for Lauren and the family?
Well, it's so funny. One of my really big goals is, I genuinely want to be on the cover of Black Enterprise. So I'm gonna throw that out in the universe. Let's put that out. We just had an article actually in Black Enterprise, so that's good. We're one step closer. But I want to do more to help others who are aspiring to start their own franchising or start their own businesses. So we do a lot of like consulting work. We just launched So You Want to Buy a Franchise course. But I enjoy people who are like coming to me like, girl, I did not think I could do it. Like, how did you do it? How did you save money for that? Like, I'm like, oh yes, let me help you. Let me pour into you as well. There are so many opportunities. There's only 8% there's like 800,000 franchises like across the, US. And only 8% of those are African American owners. So to me, it's like a goal of mine to see more of us own businesses. So that would probably be one of them. I'll throw the Black Enterprise into the universe. I'd love to just see the blog grow. I have some good brands I want to work with that resonate with me. So I would like to just, really just dedicate time to being able to put into, that angle as well.
Nice. Those are some big goals. And I know.
Hey, you gotta put them out there somewhere.
You're gonna get it. I know it, Lauren. So before we have one last surprise, but let our tribe know how they can contact you or follow you on Instagram and where they can find your blog.
Yes, my blog is www.lifewithlnicole.com. I'm on Instagram at lifewithlnicole. So feel free, send me a message, go follow the blog, subscribe. send me suggestions on things you want to see. I am definitely always open to what my followers want to see.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, Lauren, this is my favorite segment of the episode, and it's how we get to know our guests in the show. And it's called This or That.
Uh-oh.
And the first one is always, it's funny because our guests, we can always tell based on, we get all cute for the camera. But are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Red lipstick or pink lipstick?
Red.
You're true red, huh?
You're red, yes.
I think I know the answer to this one now. Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings, you guys definitely know that one.
Now we know. Cafe or diner?
Ooh, cafe.
Denim or leather?
Oh, that's so tough. Ooh, leather. Oh, that's a tough one though. But I'm gonna go leather.
Red lip? Okay. Yeah. Roses or tulips?
Oh, roses. White roses.
Gelato or milkshakes?
Probably neither. I've been dairy free since COVID, so I probably don't. Probably gelato. I don't think gelato has dairy in it, so maybe we'll do a little gelato. I do love sorbet though, so maybe if it's like a gelato sorbet-ish.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Rain or sun?
Sun all day.
Summer or winter?
Summer. Cannot stand winter.
New York or LA?
Ooh, LA.
West
It's
Coast.
a little too busy for me.
Moon or stars?
Stars.
Sweet. And that's the last one. So thank you
Yay.
for joining us today. This was so awesome.
Ladies, thank you so much. I cannot wait to share with all of my followers. You guys also, I know I've reposted you guys before, but I really appreciate the time today too.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sure our followers appreciate all of the wonderful advice that you gave them today. So we just thank you for your time today.
Yes.